Aloha and good evening. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining online, it is 7:16 p.m. Wednesday, June 24th, and this is the Libertarian Party of Hawaii Executive Committee meeting. We're calling the meeting to order at 7:16 p.m. HST. Madam Secretary, if you could do the roll call.
Yes, we have Celina Monge.
You're muted. We can come back to you.
Here.
Ken Schoolland.
Here.
I'm Abbra Green. I'm here. And Austin Martin.
Present. Excellent. We have participants with us. Noted. We'll move on to the next item.
Minutes from, I should have written down the last date, but this was from last month's EC meeting.
Okay, no problem. Do you mind moving it? Or I guess we don't. I'll relax on that. We don't have to move it, but I like to move it. Is there any discussion on the minutes from last time? Going once, going twice. All right, I'll call the question. Is there any objection to the minutes as presented? Going once, going twice, hearing none, passes without objection. We'll move on to the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review the agenda, and is there any discussion on the agenda? All right. Here now, before we proceed, can I just confirm that the resolution on affiliate autonomy is there? There it is. Okay, good. All right, cool. Then any objection to the agenda? We'll call the question.
No.
All right. Hearing none, passes without objection. Cool. Excellent. We have a call to action. Sign the LPHI petition to End Judicial Immunity. We're going to gather as many signatures as we can from Hawaii residents using our free Activism Packet. The resources are here. It's a really good fight. It raises awareness about one of the critical issues that currently attends our system, which is the fact that prosecutors and judges are immune, even should they break the law and commit a crime in their official capacity as prosecutors or judges. So long as it can be deemed an official capacity, they have immunity from suit, and generally from any kind of accountability. Even though it's not supposed to cover crimes, it effectively does. This is why the court can rule in really horrible ways in situations, and nobody goes to jail, nobody has consequences, especially in government. And it's something I like to call immunity racketeering, and it's something we stand against. And if this is something that calls to you, I'd love to talk to you and help get you engaged on how we do this. Our petitions help us build lists and help us build the party and help us to be able to get our voice and our ideas out there, and produces a large list of angry voters that then we can use to bully politicians. So yeah, definitely feel free to get with me on that. Madam Secretary, we can move on to the next item.
Next we have Chairman Report.
Oh yeah, that's me. Cool. Moving forward, the election filing deadline has passed. We have 2 candidates that entered into 2-way races on Big Island, which is really exciting. So that's some really good ground. We have quite a bit of things kind of on our radar at the state level, but we have a little bit of a lull between now and the primary. On the party end, it turns to candidates. So we're going to be working on, kind of advancing our interests in our campaigns and through our coalition building, and by doing organizing in advance of the elections, so that we can actually knock doors and do stuff to be effective. So we're working on that. The other big thing that I'm doing that I will start introducing to you guys is we're going to do a kind of bottom-up change in the way that we interact with data and with our member contacts. I'm going to try to make it so that we have regular calls going on to our members, not just me doing it whenever it seems like it's a good idea, but something that's regularly happening as an institutional norm. And then I want to keep track of it. If it's not in the CRM, it didn't happen, right? So we're going to definitely be working on improving our CRM system and on improving kind of our general workflow. I have some major wins to share with you guys that I'm honored to have taken a hand in. Over the last few years, there's been a major dispute involving the Libertarian Party of New Mexico and a splinter group. The splinter group, there was credible evidence that was brought to me last year that they were working with the Democrats in an inappropriate way. Actually, it concerned 2024. Became aware of it last year. And in 2024, the Secretary of State made an incredible error that resulted in our presidential candidate being placed on the Liberal Party's ballot line and our party being literally deprived ballot access and denied use of our own name. And this was done kind of unilaterally by the Secretary of State of New Mexico. And at best, it's a massive error. More likely, it looks pretty dirty. I got a hold of a recording that one of the chair of that organization in New Mexico had been working with the Secretary of State and had a relationship with her. We actually sued this organization over a trademark infringement because they were using our name and preventing our other party, our affiliate, from using the Libertarian Party brand logo and name. The day after we won an injunction, major fight by the way, we had to drag the committee kicking and screaming by the hair to victory, but we won and we got our preliminary injunction under the highest standard of law. And the next day, Maggie Toulouse-Oliver, the Secretary of State who did this to us, who ripped off our party, canceled her lieutenant governor campaign for New Mexico after the primary, dropped out. Now, she says it's for health reasons, but I think people can draw their own conclusions. It's a pretty major scandal that's unfolding. And at least in my book, you can make your own conclusion about this, but I'm not buying Maggie's story. She's in hot water, and it's libertarians that bagged that campaign and brought her down. I don't know if the press will run with that story, but I wanted to share it with you guys because it's a major win. And it's a good example of how in a state party fight, when the government is not being fair to you, when our group comes under attack, if you hold the line and you fight hard, there is hope. You can win. We can hit way above our weight class, and we can make a major difference, even in a race where it seems like we're far from. So things worked out really well here. Again, there's really solid evidence that Maggie was working with the chair of that splinter group, and finding that was pretty crazy. And then releasing it right before the hearing, then we win the hearing, and then Maggie drops out. So major win there for libertarians. I wanted to share that. One other important thing that I will give as a state party update, there are serious concerns across the nation about affiliate autonomy. There is a lot of, intensifying infighting at the national level. Our goal is to keep things focused on the work, and that work does not happen in a national presidential nominating committee. It happens here in the state party with our hardworking activists whose feet are actually on the ground, who are actually gathering signatures, who are showing up at the legislature, running for office and managing campaigns. That's us, right? And so what works for us in Hawaii is not going to work for California. What works in California is not going to work for Texas, right? We have to be able to adapt to the strategy that obtains on the ground, and that's why the Libertarian Party is so decentralized. Today, it's going to be my pleasure to introduce a resolution that is aimed at protecting affiliate autonomy. I'm happy to answer more questions about that when we get there. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a general update. Are there any questions before I give the treasurer the floor? Oh yeah, he's not with us tonight, so we'll skip the treasurer report. Any questions? Going once? Going twice? All right, we'll move on. Did Mr. Treasurer send any report numbers to us that we should enter into the record, or?
I can get with him on that and add it to the minutes before I send them out. I don't think much has changed, but probably a couple PayPal things.
Excellent. Is there any objection? Without objection. All right. Unfinished business. All right. We have the discussion of availability for special convention in August. Abbra, I believe you added this item. Would you like to speak to your... I guess there's not a motion. We should move it to have a discussion.
Well, I'm not sure how that works, but
That's okay.
I just wanted to open the floor up and take notes on my notepad here on what weeks would be best for everyone, if there's anything closed off for our EC members schedule wise. I want to be aware of that as we get into the planning mode for a special convention.
Okay. Right now I'm thinking. Okay, is there any discussion before I say anything on this? Anyone who wants to add something about availability for special convention in August? Okay. Hearing none, my thought I'll add on this is that I'm thinking towards the end of the month, though that's not certain yet. What I will do is I will call the committee members, and I will also try to make calls to our state party list and kind of just feel people out a little bit, and we will go ahead and accelerate our planning on that a little bit, because I think our bylaws committee is drawing down to a conclusion, so we should be ready to call for the next convention. We'll be looking at time, date, and location, and anybody who wants to do input on that, I encourage you to get with us or reach out to Abbra on that. We can move forward.
Okay, next is a motion I have to set a anniversary sale for the 250th anniversary of our country. Right now, currently, we don't have any lifetime distinguishing anything in our bylaws. I assume, different ECs have set different things in the past for this, but we currently don't have anything on our website going on for a lifetime membership. I thought it might be a good little fundraiser idea to do for, also to prepare for special convention costs.
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, excellent. We can begin discussion. Is there any discussion on this item?
This will, just as a note, this will be pending some back-end work from our treasurer, which I've already asked about ahead of time. He's got some like forms to build out and stuff if we do go through with this. So
I was going to add something about this. I need to make extra sure that we have the authority to do this, because if the bylaws do not specify it, I think the way that we have it would be okay, but I would like to make extra sure that we don't accidentally violate the bylaws here. And if we did it in any kind of questionable way, and like members who voted on this then turned around and bought the lifetime membership, that could be construed negatively. That said, there's no set price on it, and past lifetime memberships have been awarded on an honorary basis. So
our bylaws do say the executive committee can set policy and budgets.
Yes, and I think you're correct on this, that we can do this. One thing that we might have to do in order to cover our bases, or would be wise to do, would be to ratify the sale at the upcoming business convention. And that would ensure that if there's any question as to our authority to do such a thing, that we could do it. It's risky to ratify if you don't technically need to, so I'd like to avoid that if it can be avoided, but I'd like to check with a parliamentarian or another expert before we pull the trigger.
I don't know how that would work with a special meeting either.
Right. So my suggestion on this, if it's all right with you, would be to postpone it to an email ballot pending further discussion.
Just one point of clarification. Could you clarify again what this, what lifetime membership has to do with this Grassroots Institute event? I don't.
No, these are two different topics.
Oh, okay.
We are not on to the grassroots
Those are
motion yet.
Yeah, those are distinct items.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
No worries.
Because at the top,
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my mistake. I misunderstood.
No worries at all. I see what you saw there too. There's an extra paragraph in the notes there that doesn't make it as clear. Um, my suggestion would be to postpone this to an email ballot pending further discussion on making sure that we're actually good to do this. I think we are. I don't think it's out of order. But
Can
I've
we
heard we
move
need to be
this to
careful.
an email ballot then instead once we determine that?
That's what I said. Is yeah, we'll
Okay.
postpone it to an email ballot pending discussion.
Does that need a second?
It would need a second.
A second.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Cool deal. All right. Any discussion on the motion to postpone? Going once. Going twice. Passes, or I'm sorry, now we'll move on to call the question. Is there any objection to the motion to postpone? Hearing none, passes without objection.
After clarity.
Or just say pending discussion. Cool. We'll move on to the next item. I will say, for future reference, just as chair for housekeeping, there's two things that I would like to work on practice here. We should avoid items on the agenda, particularly, that are not attached to motions. A discussion is fine to have, but it doesn't need to happen in the form of a formal meeting, the decision-making meeting, unless it's attached to a motion. I believe there's something in Robert's rules that discourages us from doing that. I'm not sure it's a hard requirement though, but I've heard that from
I will
others.
look that up.
No worries. We call it a point of parliamentary inquiry.
By the way, in your note there on that it was moved to postpone to email ballot pending discussion, I like that you were also going to say, and after reviewing the clarity of the bylaws on that point or something like that,
Pending
because
discussion and bylaw review.
yeah, because I think that people reading that will say, well, what will we be discussing? And the point you want to raise here is that you're checking on the bylaws acceptance that it fits the bylaws. I think, isn't that what you were saying you were going to?
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
make sure. I'm going to seek a parliamentary opinion or two and maybe ask a couple other experienced chairs about the lifetime membership process for states that don't have it spelled out.
Right.
Since the bylaws are vague, we just kind of need to make sure that we're doing it right.
Okay.
Any further remarks or discussions before I move us along? All right. Cool. The next item is a discussion on Grassroots 25th Anniversary Gala. Abbra, would you like to speak to this?
Yes. I know we can already get the ticket discount, and I believe it's also been floated that we could get a table for a reduced rate. I think that might be a good idea for us to just go ahead and purchase a table. I feel like we could fill up 8 people in Oahu, but it's it kind of depends on value there. Like if we think that it'll get used.
I would love that. I'm totally open to doing a table. I think it does depend on if we can get, say at least 4 or 5 people to say yes, then it would make sense to just get a table.
I'm definitely going. I've
Oh,
already
great.
bought a ticket, but I think that can be combined into your table price. When we just talked to Sean Mitsui, who handles it, so that I would be sitting at the Libertarian Party of Hawaii table, and that would be one of the spots on there.
Excellent.
I would guess our treasurer and his wife would probably like to come too, but I can't I, you know, I can't speak for them. He's not here, but I would bet that he would be interested.
I actually spoke with him, and I believe they are already interested. So I'd say that's a yes for the table. Do we want to go ahead? Does somebody want to move this so we get it out of the way?
Okay, well, yeah, I move that
Oh, how much is the... I'm sorry, Ken.
no, go ahead to clarify but anyway, yeah, I move that we purchase a table and then try to fill the with
I was
our
just gonna
members.
ask before we second that. Uh, do we know how much the table costs?
I can look that up. Uh,
That would be excellent. I'd love to put that in the
I
minutes.
think,
I'll second it on that.
yeah, I just had that in my brain now and I can't remember.
Yeah, my family used to host the governor's ball for many, many, many years. And yeah, sometimes tables were like 10 grand or more. So let's check the price.
Yeah.
yeah, good idea. Okay, events coming up. I'm on the website. Okay, upcoming event.
Table is $2,000.
2,000.
Oh, well, that's a bit steep then. Yeah,
It is a bit steep.
yeah.
How much is the ticket prices for an individual?
250, right?
Two-
200.
200. So that's not a terrible deal considering it's...
So if you bought them each individually, you would spend $200 more.
No, 8 people
Ticket.
would be 1,600, right? If they're $200 each.
Yeah, that doesn't really add up, does it?
You get a little... No, you pay a little bit more so everybody sits together.
Yeah, I think I got a discount in rate. It was 182 for my ticket.
Nice.
But yeah, you're right. I'm not sure we can get the numbers for that. People
We
to
could
fill it.
fundraise for it. We could start, maybe we could motion to fundraise for purchasing a table, and if we manage to do it in time, great. If not, then not.
Well, okay, that's a good way of doing it. We can uh, uh, propose to do it if we're able to raise the funds for it. How's that sound?
Yeah, pending fundraising.
Success, yeah.
Yeah,
So it
pending
doesn't
fundraising success.
obligate us to spend out of our treasury. It would indicate that we're interested in raising the funds to join. I mean, there's a good thing for the LPH to have a presence with Grassroots Institute. It's a very effective and well-connected organization.
They are.
So it's good to have a presence there. Pricey though, I think you're right. We should try to do the fundraising first. And actually, if it's a couple thousand, I think you can already count what I've paid for a ticket towards that, because that would I'm sure that this could be worked out, that my ticket then would be merged with the LPH ticket.
Absolutely.
And then you've got another from Nick and Alice, if they're going, that's 400. I wish I could count on my wife, but I don't think she'll want to spend the money.
That's all right. That's
Yeah.
that's super helpful, and you're correct. We can fundraise from the attendees and from the wider party, and we should be able to get this actually with a good push. I'll second that motion.
So let's word the motion in a way that makes it clear that we're raising funds with the intention of participating with a table there. That it doesn't obligate us to pay out of our treasury. Does that make sense?
Actually, can you just say to launch a fundraiser
with the intention
and
of
purchase
purchasing a
and pending
table.
success purchase a table.
Right.
I'd say let's maybe set a threshold on this. Like if we raise $1,500, then we're only paying 500 for the table. That would be a pretty reasonable amount, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Pending $1,500. Pending
And I'm
$1,500
guessing
target
too, if
reached.
you discuss this with Sean Mitsui, they have probably arrangements that will allow a discount price for a table. They put up that price, and then there's various ways that they will allow a discount too. So we may not, you know, may not have to pay the full 2,000 for this.
Fundraiser to launch a fundraiser to purchase a table authorized at $1,500 target minimum.
Right. Okay.
All right. Okay, so the motion is to launch a fundraiser to purchase a table authorized at $1,500 target minimum. So if we reach $1,500, we buy the table.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Kind of already entered discussion. Going once. Going twice. All right. I'll call the question. Is there any objection to the motion as presented?
No.
All right. Passes without objection. We have one more item of business, and then we are done. The next is the model resolution for state affiliate speech autonomy. The link there will allow us to pull that up so you guys can read it as we go through. Is there a second?
Well, yes, I'll second it.
All right, excellent, cool. We can begin discussion.
Has everyone read it?
Yeah, has everybody had a chance to read the resolution yet?
No, could we go through this?
Double check.
Sure. If I may speak to it really quickly before we read it. This resolution has been going around. It passed in the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin and other places. It's kind of on both sides of the party, which is really interesting. The issue here is not about whether or not we like one side or another of any particular fight, and not about LPNH or any of that. It is just about affirming the autonomy of affiliate speech. This is pretty important to us, obviously, and with the way that things have gone down in the LNC, there's some problematic actions that they've taken that if they took that against... Basically, they say that New Hampshire endorsed Trump, and that may or may not be true. And New Hampshire's done some pretty edgy stuff that a lot of people are embarrassed by. So there's like at least a pretext for taking some legitimate action. However, instead of doing things the right way, like proving a case and showing that there was cause, the LNC decided to punish first and put due process entirely after the fact in an appeal, which is not how this should go. However, it is the very first time in party history that there has ever been a contested disaffiliation. All other disaffiliations were not formally contested. There's been fights, lots of fights, but as far as like an official disaffiliation action, this would be the first one. And it was brought with no trial, no specifics. We didn't even have the date or an example of the post or like any of that. So there's just accusations that were brought without any kind of evidence being presented to the committee, and without any notice and no opportunity for LPNH to respond. So that was a big problem for me. I did support the idea of looking at this and investigating this, but they didn't want to do an investigation. They wanted to do it their way. So that resulted in other states basically saying, hey, this is really worrying. You could do this to us. You know, we have things that we do or say in our state that might piss off people in another state. And if that happens, we want to make sure we get a fair slice. So that's where my understanding of where this is coming from. It's a model resolution that is being passed around other state parties. I will go ahead and let it be read at this point. Abbra,
So
would you
what you're
like?
saying is that
Oh,
they
go ahead.
can still be disaffiliated, but it has to follow a due process where they have a chance to defend themselves and argue their case. That's
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm trying not to weigh in on the merits of whether it was right to disaffiliate New Hampshire, because to me that's a secondary question from rights for the accused. You know, if if
Uh-huh.
if, if they did it, you know, we shouldn't have any problem making our case and doing what we got to do. But you know, if we don't do that, then we could actually get in serious legal liability. It's one of the few areas where a court will intervene against internal processes is if they violate the like bare bones due process norms, which are two elements: notice and opportunity to respond. We're not talking about the 14th Amendment. We're not talking about government due process. We're talking about procedural due process within our own party. Um, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Excellent. Abbra, do you want to start us off reading?
Sure.
I can pick victims and volunteers if you want as we go.
Model Resolution for State Affiliate Speech Autonomy. Affirming affiliate autonomy and procedural due process within the Libertarian Party, adopted as appropriate for adoption by any state level executive committee. Bracketed items indicate fill-in fields. Whereas LPHI is a chartered state-level affiliate of the Libertarian Party, whereas Article 5, Section 5 of the Libertarian Party bylaws provides that, quote, the autonomy of the affiliate and sub-affiliate parties shall not be abridged by the National Committee or any other committee of the party except as provided by these bylaws, unquote. Whereas the strength and integrity of the Libertarian Party have historically depended on the deliberative dependence of its state affiliates who reflect the political character and judgment of their respective state memberships. Whereas recent action by the Libertarian National Committee raises questions of broad institutional concern about the scope of national authority over state communications and the procedural standards governing affiliate discipline. Whereas the bylaws of the Libertarian Party contain no express grant of authority to the National Committee to police the social media or other speech of state affiliates beyond the specific affiliate conduct prohibitions stated in Article 5, Section 4. Whereas the National Committee's own most recently applied procedural standards for affiliate discipline, as demonstrated in the 2021 New Hampshire matter and the 2022 New Mexico matter, including advance notice to the affiliates, articulation of the specified alleged conduct, opportunity to be heard, and in the 2021 matter, the convening of an investigatory committee to develop the record before any sanction. Whereas departure from these standards in any future affiliate discipline matter would expose every state affiliate to discipline without procedural safeguards. Whereas the Executive Committee of LPHI takes no position in this resolution on the merits of any specific affiliate's conduct or pending affiliate proceedings, but addresses only the institutional principles governing affiliate autonomy and procedural fairness. Now, therefore, be it resolved, LPHI affirms the autonomy of the state affiliates as guaranteed by Article 5, Section 5 of the bylaws, and the right of the state affiliates to determine their own messaging and communications consistent with the bylaws and the statement of principles. LPHI expresses concern about any assertion of National Committee authority to police state affiliate communications absent express bylaws authorization, and calls for the National Committee to articulate with clarity and in writing the textual bylaws basis for any assertion of authority. LPHI urges that any disciplinary actions by the National Committee against any affiliate be conducted with A. Advanced written notice to the affiliate, B. Particularized, that's hard to say,
Particularized.
articulation of the specific conduct alleged and the specific bylaws provision alleged to have been violated. C, a meaningful opportunity for the affiliate to respond before any vote. And D, the convening of an investigatory committee to develop a factual record where alleged conduct is material or contested, consistent with the National Committee's own most recent applied precedent. LPHI calls upon the National Committee to adopt and publish through the appropriate bylaws or policy manual processes written standards governing affiliate discipline procedures so that affiliates and their members may understand in advance the procedures by which their status may be reviewed. LPHI directs its chair to transmit a copy of this resolution to the chair and the secretary of the Libertarian National Committee, to the chair of the Judicial Committee, and to the chairs of the other state level affiliates.
Right.
It looks like, I mean, I like it. I agree with it. Where in the world do they get the lawyers to write these things up? I'm impressed. But anyway, yeah,
That's a trade secret.
Did you write this, Austin?
I wish I could take credit for this one. I only helped with the ideas, but
Okay.
I didn't actually put pen to paper on it.
I mean, it's beautifully and legalistically written, and the point is solid, I think. I mean, that we expect due process.
I think so too. I feel really good about this. I really appreciated that it did not take a side and try to argue anybody's case and just kept it really focused. Abbra, I see your hand is up.
I was looking for the spot here. There was a point that talks about the investigatory committee. Are we asking them to make new rules, or is that already a bylaw mechanism that we're talking about? Oh, right here.
Oh, yeah. The investigatory committee is required by Robert's Rules of Order in any for-cause proceeding. So if, like it says in your bylaws, that officer removals must be for cause, the words for cause are a parliamentary form of art that require us to basically provide due process. And Roner defines unless your bylaws specifically state otherwise, and you have adopted Roner, then Roner requires an investigative committee to develop the factual record. Because you can't really get a particularized, like, factual set of allegations together without it just being an accusation, unless you have some formal process there. So that investigative process is defined. Then they produce a true formal charge that the defendant is then supposed to answer to. That gives them the opportunity to present evidence, right? You don't have to work with the investigative committee, right? They're like the cops, right? They're going to find out what happened, what needs to be reported. The national committee in this case would be like the judge, and they're going to rule on the facts based on the defense and the prosecution. So it's very much like a court.
Okay.
And so that's why it mentions an investigatory committee. If we did not adopt Robert's Rules of Order, then we would not need an investigatory committee. It would just be good practice.
That makes sense.
Are there any other questions?
We're good.
Cool. All right, excellent. I will go ahead and call the question. Since this is probably going to be transmitted, well, since it directs me to transmit this to national, I would appreciate it, Madam Secretary, if you could initiate a roll call vote.
Yes. Celina Monge?
Yes.
Ken Schoolland?
Yes.
I also say yes. And Austin Martin?
I will abstain. Actually, no, I'll vote yes. I'm sorry. You can report the vote totals once you're done.
that would be a unanimous yes.
All right, motion passes. Cool. We have no further business on the agenda, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn or any other motions.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, cool. Is there any objection to adjournment? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Great
Okay,
meeting.
aloha. Good session.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Nice to
I'll
meet
go
you,
ahead
Lono.
and
Thank you.
keep
Good
this
night.
open for a
Good
minute.
night.
Thank you. Good night.